Welcome to the Epicenter. This is Frank.
This is Banhammer.
Double.
Okay, let us begin. First, the anime news. We got some good stuff to talk about this time,
There's
actually.
there's a lot to actually talk about.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
on an
yeah.
anime watching binge lately.
Same here, actually. Yeah, same here. Though probably not as much as you. Though you did give me that one recommendation, and I was glad I followed through on that one.
Yeah, so let's
That's
talk.
So far, I'm calling it my surprise of the season so far. But we'll talk about
Yeah,
the other stuff before that. We'll save that
there's
for
I
last.
actually have a lot to talk about because I watched the two new Ghost in the Shell Arise OVAs.
I did not see those yet. I saw the first one. I
Yeah,
have
they
the
have
first one.
they have subs out for them, and it's still really good. It makes me it makes me remember why I like that series so much.
I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if it wasn't good.
Yeah, these two are all about her forming the team that she has. So
Section 9.
yeah, Section. Well, she doesn't want to work for Section 9.
Oh,
She's
okay.
forming
There.
her own independent organization that's contracted to Section 9.
Okay. Okay.
So she's walking around. This is how she recruits everyone. And then that's the second movie, and then the third movie is just about how cyborgs in this world have experienced love, and that's an interesting concept in and of itself.
I know the manga dealt a lot with that kind of thing, though the shows really didn't.
Yeah, it's good. I like that. And I saw the brand new Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan movie.
I did not see that.
And you know what? It fucking pissed me off because they teased me in the beginning because I thought Kaido Kid was going to be in it, but nope, it's just Lupin disguised as Kaido Kid.
No.
And because I'm sitting there, because you cut immediately to him, he's standing there. He's like, "Wait, that's not me." And then this one was actually far superior than the shitty TV special because they actually treated each other like rivals, and each of the different casts got like a strong point in it. So they were constantly going back and forth at one another. And
I like.
it was actually really good. And at the end of it was the biggest insult of all because Lupin goes and steals one last thing in Japan, but when he goes to steal it, there's this note card from the Kaido Kid saying, "Sorry, I already took it." And then Zenigata busts in and Lupin's driving away, and he goes, "Oh, so that's how you want to play it, kid. I won't be so easy on you the next time you meet." And then you get to a cut to a title card, Lupin the Third versus Kaido Kid, but
Coming soon.
but but Conan pops up and goes, "Just kidding." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you."
No.
No,
Oh,
because
that is
that's exactly
trolling.
what I fucking wanted.
They are
Oh.
trolling.
Because I would love to see that, and they teased
I
me
like
with
Kaido
it.
Kid better than Conan, actually.
But I know I wish the Japs liked Kaido Kid better than Conan because that's what his first manga was. But they didn't like that enough, so it was canceled. So he made Detective Conan.
I mean, Detective Conan's alright.
No, it's still Detective Conan's good, but that should end. There's only so many ways you can kill someone, and when you go for like what 600-700 episodes, the main plot alone can cover 50-some episodes by itself by now.
Well, there's there's that show on Spike TV, Thousand Ways to Die. So they have at least like 400 and some, like 300 and some episodes left.
Uh, that's just the. But anyway, I started the new anime season, so far I have 9 shows.
Oh,
10 probably with Sengoku Basara, but I don't know when that's coming out
I
yet.
can't wait till that comes out.
The
My manly Japanese history.
first one up is Akami ga Kill, which I was torn. I like it because it's edgy.
I like it because yes, it is edgy, but it also has enjoyable characters and good story pacing.
I hope you don't have favorite characters because they suffer from Game of Thrones syndrome in this.
Oh, that's the whole point. You know, that adds to it when you have this character you really like. And, oh no,
If
it
you thought-
died.
If you thought that first episode was edgy, you've only begun to edge. It gets better. It just goes like total ham, especially when you see S Dese.
S Dese?
Yeah, I don't know which translation they're going to go with. She's one of the main villains. Her name's S Dese in the manga translation, but I've seen some translation calling her X Death.
X-Death is
And
from Final Fantasy.
but she is a incredibly contrived, horrible cookie cutter. I'm evil because I'm evil villain.
Dio.
And it's just
She's
bad
Dio.
because what's that? There's a torture room in the palace. You're not doing it correctly. You're not making them suffer enough. You got to do it this way. And
You
I'm
gotta do
like,
it that
oh,
way. It's Dio. I don't mind it. It works for this series. This series is essentially about
well. Tony
generic.
Tony Mike says her official name is S Death.
Well, a Kami Kill. I'm going to describe it right now. It is generic fantasy hero goes to a city full of sociopaths. That's,
That's basically it.
yeah. I like it. And unlike a certain other edgy show that is extremely popular right now, Attack on Titan, it has good pacing, and I care about the characters. Except for actually, with Attack on Titan, I care about like the main ensemble, but nothing else. No one else.
Okay, so next up is the new Ura Butcher show, Al the Noah Zero, which actually really fucking surprised me
That
how
was a
much
good first episode.
I was like, that was almost a straight up Gundam knockoff from the 1 Year War, especially with the floating, the falling down space castles and shit. But he must have been holding back because Ura Butcher unleashed full on suffering mode first
Yeah.
episode,
First episode, people get annihilated.
and it's an interesting premise.
Yeah, I want to see where it goes.
I
Though,
I can already tell.
To be fair, his other mech show started off well in the first episode, and we saw where that went.
I'm like I'm a fan of the mech genre, and I've seen that first episode. That was mediocre for me. I'm like, all right, I'll see where it went with that other series he did, and I didn't care for where it went at all. I dropped that at like episode 4.
Yeah, same here.
But this one has a lot of potential to it because I feel so bad because Ura Butcher usually picks one character to dump all of the suffering onto. He does that to Sakura in Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. Because she's apparently the punching bag character where all the really horrible shit happens to. He already has one now. He got slain. What's that? You're trying to give the princess hope? Can't have that. You're gonna get cane slapped to the face.
I like that. I like the one kid who's like, "Oh, there's a missile." What
I think that's one of the main characters.
What past does that guy have? He is my favorite character so far.
That and post-traumatic stress drunken teacher.
We should go. There's a missile. Oh, I wonder what I'm gonna. Oh, it's a sale on eggs.
What's that? There's an assassination attempt going on in front of me. Better duck.
Better find the scrambled egg recipe or something.
Yeah.
Somebody's still looking up recipes while the night castles are coming down.
Yeah. But I like that because I'm almost convinced that princess isn't dead. That's
so you're
gonna
saying
be
Padme died?
That's gonna be the Ura Butcher twist because I hope you saved your bingo card I sent you because you're gonna remember your free space is always suffering. we gotta check for anti-hero, who I think the blonde count is gonna be. I have a feeling he's gonna be an anti-hero.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm excited for that. The next one up is the Sailor Moon reboot.
I watched that also.
I cannot stand the animation in that. It reeks of lazy.
I would have to disagree. I like the animation.
I can't look at it. It doesn't look right to me. I don't know what it is about it. They could have done it in a much better way. But other than that, it's Sailor Moon.
Going back and seeing Sailor, because I haven't watched Sailor Moon in probably more than a decade, at least a decade.
No, it's at least 10 years. Yeah, because that's the last time I was on TV.
I'm just wondering. I just like who's Usagi? Because I only ever watched the dub. I'm like, who's Usagi? Who's this? But and then there's like the weird stuff in the first. I was watching this with one of our friend Bobby, and we were just talking about Sailor Moon, and apparently she does the Fus Roda at the beginning, and she never does that again for like
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
she does it like once or twice during the whole entire show. But she has like a bunch of weird powers that only
No, she
happen near
does.
the beginning.
Yeah, actually, you know what? She really fucking does. She has all these powers. Like she has like what's it called? JoJo season 3 power, where it's
The
conveniently for the
stand.
episode and then
Oh,
it's
okay.
forgotten.
Yeah, because she Fus Rodas at the beginning, and she does, and apparently she never remembers that again.
But yeah, that's a bi-weekly show, so that'll come out again. Not this week, but the next week.
Okay, that's good.
So
Like, how many
let's see.
episodes are they gonna make?
That's 26.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's going to go on for at least a year if they do that on a 2-week basis. The next one I picked up was Gekken's Shoujo Nozaki-kun, which is a comedy. This girl wanted to confess to this guy, and he's and she does it the wrong way, and he thinks that he's a fan of his shoujo manga that he's published, and she ends up helping him color in the shoujo manga, and she I think throughout the series meets a bunch of ridiculous like shoujo stereotypes. I think her and her friend are the only girls in that show, and the rest is ridiculously stupid pretty boys. So that was actually pretty entertaining. I liked that, so I picked that up. Next one was fucking Rail Wars.
I don't know.
Oh God, I'm gonna need strength to watch this. You know, your show's in trouble when they start spouting fucking facts about trains. No, I work for the railroad, and I come from a long family, a long line of people who are rail fans and know about the railroad, so this is relative to sort of my interest, but I learned about how to properly shovel coal into the steam engine to get approximately 100 kilometers an hour
Oh.
per mile or whatever,
Oh.
because it's about fuel efficiency, and then it's just, I'm going to cut and paste stupid stereotypes from every different anime thing that you can find and drop it in there, so it's incredibly generic. I was kind of hoping for You're Under Arrest on Trains, but I was sadly mistaken. I'll give it a couple more episodes before I probably will drop it.
Oh.
Don't like the trains.
Well, you know what? I think that's the only reason that's kept me in here. I was like, wow, I'm learning a lot about the Japanese railroad system.
Maybe we should
Just kind of
recommend
fucking boring.
Otis-san. Maybe we should recommend Otis-san.
Let's see. Next up, Space Dandy Season 2.
How is that? How did that start out?
I'm a fan of Space Dandy. It's not the best show in the world. It's a solid 7 out of 10 at best, but it has some, for a standalone episode show, it has some gems. This was another gem one because apparently he pulled the string of the fabric of the universe and he went into parallel universes meeting different dandies, and the payoff is usually at the end, and it had my favorite dandy of all time. It had hardcore Space Marine Meow, which is that cat thing, and all it is in a giant space suit. It looks like a fucking tiger, and it just says an metallic voice going meow. And then it has some old guy in a suit that thinks it's a robot for QT, and then they have depressed Dandy who sits on like a bench like Keanu Reeves, looking all downtrodden because that's his universe, and just all this does is over and over again is he wants to die. So stuff like that is still pretty good. I love Dandy because, like I said, when it ends, I'll give you like a handful of episodes if you want to go back and download and watch them. Just watch those episodes because they're usually really good. The other one is
check out the good ones.
The other one is Shit Art Online Season 2. And oh my god, they start off on the new game this time is Gun Gale Online, where they had this thing where it's apparently based in America. It's a shooter, and it's for pros where you make money. And this guy was giving a pro talk on using his avatar in game, and some edgelord dressed in a cloak fires his gun at the TV, and somehow it gives the guy a heart attack and he dies. And he says, "You've just been judged with my death gun." And then it cuts to 10 minutes of Asuna and Kirito bullshit, which I didn't want to deal with, so I skipped. Then it was another 15 minutes of plot exposition of the government wanting him to go in there to take him out. Then it cuts to Sniper Chick, who's apparently going to be an interesting character. And then I get the end credits, which apparently Kirito's avatar looks like a fucking chick because it's long hair and has a fucking lightsaber. And Justin was telling me, he's like, I like the way how they spent 10 minutes talking about how stats are important in this game, and it's not going to fucking matter when Kirito whips out his fucking lightsaber and just one-shots everyone for no reason.
Wait, so is this before or after the
This is
2
after.
years? The 2 years?
Yeah, this is after the 2 years. So this is going to be an endurance test. I'm going to see if I can make it to episode 3 before I drop it.
Wait, so is it still like Magic Online games or?
Well, the first one they were in was destroyed. Then they went to Elfheim Online.
Was that destroyed or did something?
No, that's still going.
There?
That's still going, Elfheim Online, because that's when Asuna was kidnapped by...
Wait, she was kidnapped online?
No, yeah, she was kidnapped and forced to play by the guy who created Elfheim Online, who was a creepy stalker who apparently was, even though he's like in his 30s, engaged to marry a 15-year-old for some weird reason.
Maybe they should stop playing MMOs.
And well, he trapped her in there, so he had to go and beat the shit out of him, and then he got thrown in jail for some stupid reason. And now this is after that.
I think they should just stop playing online games.
But I can't fucking stand. I have a feeling I want to drop that relatively soon. And then the final one, which was the surprise of the season for me, was Sabagebu, or however the fuck you say that.
I think it's like an English for survival game.
Yeah, I was tricked by Gynax last year into watching C3, which has a similar premise to this. I have no idea what the fuck C3 was supposed to be. It was the weirdest fucking show I've ever seen. And it was terrible, so I'm like, I don't ever know if I want to watch this again. So Justin's like, all right, I'll watch it and tell you if you should. And he's like, all right, you need to watch this. So, like 5 minutes in, we get Japanese middle-aged man trying to feel up the main character when some girl with 2 deagles
puts one right up to his head. Now, when I'm watching a show and it begins with somebody putting a deagle up to somebody's head and dual-wielding deagles, then we're getting somewhere. You've piqued my interest, so to speak.
Yeah, but then he busts out karate from middle school and tries to karate fight her, but then loses.
All while old JoJo narrates.
Yeah, old Joseph Joestar is the narrator, who also runs the gun shop where they buy their airsoft guns called Survive This Bitch.
And he's like this gigantic... He looks American. He's like a gigantic American, like, army guy.
Tony Mike says he's the guy who did the voice for the Terminator in the Terminator movies in Japan.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So he also will break the fourth wall because he'll start announcing shit, and he's like, "Where's that voice coming from?"
But you see, we have that one chick who has the kawaii ghillie suit, and then she also dresses up like Jill Valentine. If you didn't notice that in the
I liked that
gunfight
because it was fucking bright red, and she said it was her winter camouflage suit.
It's just great. And what I liked was the leader, the club president, like started bungee jumping, and she said she was rappelling down, and I'm like, that's not rappelling. And then old Joseph was like, yes, that is not rappelling.
Dude, I like the way how the main character started being bullied, and he starts saying this isn't an edgy anime just because it takes a slight plot twist. Everyone labels it as edgy anymore. But I also really like the main character because she only tolerates as much shit as she's willing to put up with. Because after she got this
trying not to be she probably used to be a badass in her old school, but she's trying not to be like that. She just wants to be normal and just write it out. That's not gonna happen.
I liked it because she's like, don't apologize to me because that way it won't make my revenge feel as good. Any character that says that, and then she proceeds to return all of like the torment tenfold. I think she burns their uniforms in like a trash compactor or some shit.
Yeah, it was great.
So I'm like, that was definitely a surprise for me.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be good, or expecting me to enjoy that. We'll see if you could keep that up. Because I remember how awesome another show was. Bento. I remember how awesome the first 2 episodes of that one were. And then the third episode happened, and I was like, why aren't they fighting over food anymore?
I'm pretty sure it's going to stay this way because I think it's a comedy that's in a shoujo manga collection that's
Oh, God.
released.
I
So
hope
I'm
so.
pretty sure it's a comedy.
I got Bobby into it.
Other than that, the only other thing I was looking to check out would be Sengoku Basara.
Yeah, I'll be watching that as soon as it hits the net.
But other than that, that's pretty much the summer anime lineup that I got.
So far, it's going good.
No, I'm telling you, summer is starting to replace spring and fall because they take a lot more chances with shows in the summer because I guess they have nothing to lose because viewership is down.
Yeah,
And the last couple summers have been exceptionally good because they released a lot of good comedies and whatnot.
it looks
But
like summer is going to be the new spring.
no, I always look forward to. What's it called? The summer now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you know what else is coming out towards the end of the summer? It's a 4-part Monogatari thing about Kanbaru and Kaiki.
Uh,
I'll watch that
I
because
kind of fell out of
it has my two
Monogatari.
favorite characters.
After Bake was awesome. And then Nisei happened, and I just couldn't get back into it after Nisei. I just could not get back into it. I tried, but it left a scar on my soul that would not go away.
That's Nisio Ishin, man.
It's like when George Lucas made the prequel trilogy. That's how I felt with Nisei Monogatari.
That is straight up Nisio Ishin. That's
part
part
of
of
the
his
course.
style.
To ruin things that
No,
are good.
I'll tell you the truth. I take it as it's part of the show. It's always there. It's just a lot more heavier in Nisei Monogatari. They toned it down. He toned it down again for the second season.
I don't know. I was burned. I was burned bad. Suppose we can move on to the next section. Tabletop and comics. For comics. So, Thor killed Galactus
Oh.
in the far future. That happened, and it was really cool because in the current Thor run, Thor: God of Thunder, you have essentially 2, sometimes 3 separate Thors. There's Thor of the past, present Thor, and far future Thor. And their stories kind of intertwine. And sometimes they time travel and meet each other because, hey, they're gods, but usually it's just an intertwined story. But this one was called Last Days of Midgard, where Thor was fighting the Roxxon Corporation to stop them from polluting the Earth and destroying it. So, in revenge, Roxxon, they essentially bought out Broxton, which is the town Thor first came down in, and turned it into Detroit. So while that was going on, we have the Thor of the far future, who constantly watches over a completely burnt out, ruined Earth. And then Galactus comes to finally consume the Earth because there's no life there, and he tried to do it how many times, and he's always stopped. And Thor's like, you're not going to do that. So he fights Galactus. He puts up a good fight, but loses, and then his daughters come and they put up a good fight. But then Thor gets the sword of a Gore the God Butcher and becomes Necro Thor and defeats Galactus and kind of throws him away along with the sword. And with Thor's blood, he renews Midgard. He renews Earth. But then in the epilogue, right at the end, Galactus Galactus, he fused with the Necro Sword to become let me see this, to become the Butcher of Worlds. But they didn't show him yet, but I think that's in a future story. We're going to have to fight the World Butcher. So yeah, I highly recommend Thor: God of Thunder. I know there's a few trades out right now, but it's written by Jason Aaron, so you know it's going to be good. And the art's amazing, and you know the characters are great. So yeah, that's comics. That's what I've been reading.
So Yellowtown Comic Con's this week. I don't recommend going because basically they have too much of an ego now. Because they're trying to get all these like acts in there when no one gives a shit because it's in Allentown.
Like, are they trying and failing to get people to come, or?
I don't know, but they're trying to get more acts in, and the problem is the venue they have is so fucking small to begin with.
Oh, okay. So they're
So
pushing out space for vendors and different things for kind of panels.
yeah, and again more panels in, so they're raising the rates that it costs for vendors to go to that.
Ooh.
Because there's one flea market I go to on the weekend sometimes with my girlfriend, and there's this old guy who sells comics there. A bunch of like he's in the indies and shit, and he told us about it. Like they raised the rate, and he said he's not going to that one because he's not going to make a lot of money off it. Not
Yeah,
worth his time.
Yeah, that's what happens to a lot of like malls around here, and especially in small towns. You know, they raise the rates so much the stores just can't justify staying there.
Yeah, and I mean the the past couple of years, the Allentown Comic Con, it was cramped, but it was all right. But now they have too much of an ego to it. It's like they want to be a big Comic Con, but they're in well, not that Allentown's a small city, but
They need to get the venue.
well, what they need to do is get the venue, and they need to realize that people in Allentown, the acts they're getting is not worth
Traveling to Allentown.
none of that, but yeah, they need to get more vendors in there and a bigger space because travel in Allentown, well, it's not a long drive. It's still a drive that it's not worth it.
Yeah, you need the space. I mean, look at Otakon. That's moving to a bigger venue.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't
I mean,
fucking wait until it moves to DC. You have no idea how happy I'm going to be.
I'll just truck on over to your place.
You have no idea how cheaper it is. I'm not going to get a fucking hotel room. I'll just stay in my apartment.
No, I'll stay in your
It's
apartment
only-
if you'll have me.
The subway runs right underneath the convention center. It's just a 20-minute subway ride.
We can just drill right up through the
And
tunnel.
it only costs $4 a day to park in the Metro parking lot.
That sounds awesome.
actually, remember the Care Union? How they had that that big area for events and shit.
Yeah.
That we had like some of those gaming tournaments at.
Yeah.
Imagine that plus maybe like an extra 2 rooms stacked on, if that, and that's about the size of Comic Con. Yeah. So it's pretty cramped in there.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
No. But there is one in Scranton a week after. It's like $3 to get in, or it's like 5 or something. So it's Sunday, I think the 20th. So
I have some tabletop news.
oh, what do you got?
I ran a game of Demon the Descent. It was like the test game,
Mhm.
just to try it out because a lot of people, I guess because it was the 4th, I expected it, could not make it to my D&D game. So we had 3 people there, and I was like, okay, let's try Demon. So I won't get into huge detail. It was enjoyable. Of course, it's World of Darkness, but here's two of the highlights. Somebody talked to bees to find out that there was an ambush ahead of them, and they found out the angel they had to fights Bane was pyramid-shaped objects. So they essentially fought him off with cheap tourist trap uh, souvenirs, and one of the characters ate him after they killed him. And that does not infer any in-game benefit for eating an angel. They just ate him because they could.
So how are you liking it so far? I mean,
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I'm glad my print copy didn't come in yet,
okay.
and I will be posting a review of that online. And the only reason I'm posting a review of that online is because I haven't seen any other review of that online.
Good.
And I think that would be really useful for somebody who's thinking of kind of taking that plunge.
How does it compare to other World of Darkness games? Is it similar? I mean, it's similar, but what are your thoughts on it compared to other ones?
This one, it plays more like a Cold War spy thriller feel to it.
Okay.
Because you're constantly looking over your back for angels. Because okay, here's a few things that make demon kind of fun. First of all, any demon, nobody can ever tell if they're lying. The only way, everything, even supernaturally, they always look like they're telling the truth. So there's that, and you can speak any language fluently. And of course, angels are always hunting you. And you have to keep your cover up. So yeah, you're essentially supernatural Cold War spies, except instead of the Kremlin, it's God. Well, the God machine, but it's essentially God.
Cool.
So yeah, it's neat. It's essentially like, remember the second Matrix movie with the Exiles? They were like the rogue programs who all had their own powers. That's essentially what a demon is that you play as, because the God machine's a gigantic reality-spanning machine, and you are constructs who went rogue. So yeah, I'd say that's yeah, at least like I said, I have the PDF. PDF's definitely worth it to buy, but I'm going for the print edition because
tell me how that print edition looks. I want to know what the quality of it is.
Yeah.
I got the premium quality, but the weird thing is I don't see the standard quality listed anymore. So either I don't know, maybe the standard was having too many problems with it. You know, ops are really revitalizing the tabletop industry and giving a lot of space to new blood.
Okay, there you go. You're kind of for a second.
Oh, I am?
You were. Well, to me anyway.
Okay. Well, let me check if anything's downloading.
But okay, you're back to normal
let's move
now.
on.
Yeah.
I actually have tech news.
Oh, tech?
Yeah, let's move on.
Well, I have actually thrilling tech news. Google Fiber, which is the ultra high-speed internet service, is expanding. So if you live in the Kansas City area, it's coming to Kansas City, Austin, Texas, Provo, Utah. It offers 1 gigabyte per second at for $70 a month or $120 with their TV service.
That is fantastic.
Please come to Maryland.
Yes, Google Fiber, please come here.
I need to get rid of the devil's internet service.
I like how $120 you get your TV and your internet, and I mean, they rape you for TV anyway. So
yeah, I wonder what their cable package is like.
I don't know.
As I said, I want them to come so bad. I'm like, I'm tired of fucking Comcast and Verizon strangle holding the entire goddamn marketplace.
I got some sad news for tech. CISPA's now back again. Well, basically, the whole NSA spy on you. So it's called CISA now, or CISA, and yeah, they're gonna, I think, tomorrow have a discussion about it in Congress. So who the hell knows? You're muted there, Frank. And Frank's muted. And there goes the call.
Well, that's Google for you.
Yep.
Well, I'm still here. It's probably his backwoods internet,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that I love the way how they keep bringing that up when they can't do a jobs bill or a housing bill or an immigration bill.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some batshit insane, like crazy Tea Party wingnut, this is probably the only reason that they're good for, will probably try and
Right.
defeat it.
You're right. It'll be all the libertarians, which amounts to like what, 5, and the the wing nuts.
Yeah, that's all they're. I hate them for anything else, but if you need them to protect your privacy issues,
Sure.
at least they'll do that for you. So for about 95% batshit insanity and all the damage they do, the only one time that I need them to do something important
They
is
do it.
this. But uh, I'm trying to think of any other new tech stuff.
It's been a pretty slow week, I think.
Yeah. I want to talk about the Vigi games, but I need him to come back in.
Yeah.
That's if and when he can show back, or
I was surprised call. I don't know. Did the call drop yet? I'm not sure.
no, the call. We're still live.
That's weird.
I don't know. He probably got disconnected. It's probably raining. Yeah, I don't see him. He went out.
He Skyped me and says the internet's fucking up, so I don't know.
But well, I'm trying to stretch for time here
Yeah.
because I want to talk about because I have Destiny news.
Oh.
If you can get a beta key for that, try and get a beta key because I know
Oh
a
yeah,
bunch of different.
I pre-ordered the game. I got a beta key.
Okay, because they actually announced the beta dates. It starts July 17th,
Yep.
and it goes to the 21st. But then they'll shut down a day for maintenance, and they'll bring it back up, and it goes to Monday the 27th.
Is there
They'll
gonna
have,
be?
I think, one single-player mission, and then a couple of different multiplayer modes up.
Is there gonna be a pre-download of the game, or you have to download it that day?
I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm kind of hoping they keep the alpha download because I still have the alpha downloaded on my PS4.
Okay.
Huh.
You back?
I'm back.
Oh, good. We were just talking about Destiny and the beta for it.
Oh, Destiny.
Yeah, if
And
you
it
got
looks
your.
like we're still live.
But no, I was telling the beta starts July 17th. It goes to the 21st, and they shut down a day for maintenance, and they bring it back up the next day, and then it'll go to the 27th. And you get a single-player mission, I think, on there, and then a couple multiplayer modes.
I think I'll wait to get it.
I'm tempted to buy the special super edition for it because let me bring that up because they announced they have the limited edition and then they have the super special edition.
There are way too many other games coming out for me to get any super awesome editions.
Well, I might want to recommend the limited edition, even though they bumped that up to $100 because you get the first two. No, they get the first two DLC things on there, which they would release for $20 a piece anyway because it's significant content.
I don't do DLC.
Well, for the $150 one, you get
Jesus.
a fancy steel case, let's see, you get a ghost replica that talks to you in Peter Dinklage's voice or whatever. I guess it hits buttons or some shit. You get the two DLC things. You get a art book that's just like the weapons and shit and whatnot,
Okay.
and you get exclusive like skins and shit. But normally I wouldn't go for that, but since I love my company and it was our 30th anniversary, they gave every employee a $250 American Express gift card, so I think I might
Nice.
use
Oh,
that.
nice.
If I don't have any money left over from Otakon, or any left over from Otakon from the card, I'll dump it onto that and mitigate the cost.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I have my game buys pretty much set though.
Well, September is going to be a painful month because I have Destiny, then there's Hyrule Warriors, and then there's Senran Kagura, which I pre-ordered.
What's that?
That's the ninjas doing ninja activities.
Oh, okay.
I forget, XZ was only doing a limited run for a special edition, and they crashed the first time they put it up for people who wanted to get the limited edition stuff. Because the limited edition is the same as the digital edition version, so I'm like, I might as well fucking get a physical copy because I think I get something extra with it. So I'm like, yeah, I as soon as they released that, I went on the internet and I'm like, yes, you give me ninjas doing ninja things.
Oh, I wanted to talk for tech before we move on too far. Did we talk about the 4chan and Tumblr raid?
Oh shit. No, we gotta do that.
Okay, well, we'll take a brief interlude back to tech. So, Tumblr thought it would be a good idea to raid 4chan. That's an awesome idea, by the way.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up there. First of all, even if you are effective at raiding a site, why would you ever want to raid 4chan? That place trolls itself constantly.
I mean, I could see, raiding like some stupid forum that no one goes to, or some
9gag or like 9gag or something like that, but not 4chan.
Now, even 9gag, I might stay away from, but why would you target 4chan? That's just a dumb idea.
The thing is, that wasn't even the brunt of what 4chan can do if they get enough anons in on it. I think it was a bunch of people who just wanted to mess with them after they got messed with.
I think the thing was, 4chan, they didn't really care about... They weren't butthurt at all. They were like, okay, let's... They mess with us, let's destroy them.
Let's show what happens.
Yeah,
4chan basically fired a warning shot and it just destroyed their reactor or something. A warning shot destroyed Tumblr. It was great. First of all, I went on the tag. I can guarantee you, if you go on the feminism tag for Tumblr right now, you will find a post about 4chan. They are that freaked out about it.
Oh yeah.
I think they probably only rate it for one day, but the effects keep on coming. It's like, and they're posting screenshots of B about, oh, they're going to raid this time, here's how they're going to do it. When I know 4chan
Show me they
is messing
petitioned
with
the
them.
White House to have it shut down.
Yes, they made a petition to the White House to have 4chan shut down.
That's not part of the White House. The White House can't do that. The most the White House can do is recommend that the Justice Department look into them, which they won't do shit anyway.
Probably already do look into 4chan,
Yeah,
honestly.
probably already do, is
They
right.
wouldn't be doing their jobs if they didn't look into 4chan. I'm not even mad that they look into 4chan.
Yeah.
Look into 4chan all you want. That's where a lot of freaks post. Stay, just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I'm sure the NSA has a constant presence on poll. Although I do like the fact that they refer to themselves as politicians.
I would love to be paid by the government to surf 4chan and look for questionable activity.
It would be pretty hard to... Everything is questionable on certain boards on there.
Oh, but the thing about this Tumblr raid is the Tumblr fags are so like crying and butthurt over 4chan just destroying them.
I lost sleep. And there's
Yeah.
that rumor that somebody killed themselves by being triggered. Now, first of all, you can only get triggered if you have PTSD, and you can't get triggered for every little thing. You see what they do. I don't want to say, I know that the term that everyone uses is social justice warrior, but they like to co-opt things, like combat veterans and people who suffered horrible things in their life. They have PTSD and they can get triggered. I should be able to get triggered too because stuff happened to me that I was bullied in high school or something. So I should be able to get triggered, and people need to tiptoe around me so they don't trigger me. They co-opt things that aren't theirs, and they kind of build it into their fabric. They ruined the Occupy Wall Street movement by co-opting it with their own agendas, with their own each different person co-opted the movement with their own little special snowflake agenda. Because everyone can agree. I know somebody else online made this point, so I can't take credit for this one. But okay, like Occupy Wall Street, everyone can agree with the central premise at the beginning. They want to get the money out of politics. Tell me someone who wouldn't agree with that. But then it gets co-opted. Oh, of course. That's where the Constitution goes to get shot in the head. But but the point is, they co-opt it with, let's just make this about my own understanding of socialism. Let's make this about my own ill-informed understanding of what communism is. Let's make it about that. Let's make it about socialism. Let's make it about communism. Let's make it about oppressing otherkin. Let's make it all about me, but not about the actual issue. Just like they're doing with video games. A video game is bad unless it talks about things that I like, things that pertain to me. So that's my rant about a certain group of people who live on Tumblr.
I wouldn't be surprised if that person did hurt themselves, because basically, not that I know people on Tumblr, but I've seen people, and you get like the 18-year-old depressed fat girls with no friends on there. And Tumblr's their only means of, self-importance.
Hey, this might get our viewership through the roof if we spread all around Tumblr as hate mongers.
Pretty much.
That'll be great. Look at comments. Oh, that would make my day if SJWs just descend upon this podcast in droves. But anyway, let's move on back to video games. I was playing Muramasa.
Oh yeah, that was free.
Yeah, I like it. I played a bit for the Wii, and I'm enjoying it. So it's pretty. It's Japanese. Well, it looks Japanese. It's hard too.
Yeah, my only real complaint is that I feel like I'm constantly walking and walking and walking and walking through the same areas.
I think you get fast travel later, but
that's the only thing I didn't like about that game, because I'm constantly feel like I'm going through the same areas over and over and over and over and over again for no reason.
I like the boss fights.
Oh, the boss fights are good. There's a lot I like about it, but it's just like the never-ending fucking walking. I get to one place, and then I gotta fucking walk to another place, and...
Walk across here. No, walk across here.
Conveniently, you have to go to... I went to the next place. Where's that? It's over on the other side of the country. Shit.
The journey
it just came from the other side of the fucking country.
This is Japan. We should be able to take the rails.
But I bought the DLC for it, so I've been playing the DLC.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah,
yeah. Other than that, I'm waiting for my Destiny beta.
Yeah, we're all waiting for the cool stuff. Oh, I beat Wolf Among Us. I completed that.
Oh, they
okay.
released the final part of that.
Yes, they did,
All right, I'll have to wait until there's a deal bundle on, and then I'll get it.
and it is awesome. Let's just say that there's some huffing and puffing and blowing the house down. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's
Okay. I started playing Dragon's Dogma recently. Basically, to explain the game, it's basically if you took Dark Souls and mixed it with Dragon Age. Uh,
okay.
ba-
Okay, that
uh,
sounds good.
I say it's Dark Souls like because the game's hard as balls. Basically, but it's Dragon Age because you have a party. The way it works is you choose your main character in his class, and then you choose a secondary character who's your AI companion, and then you also throughout the game basically get money to buy new characters or pawns they call them. So you can basically create your own party, and along the way you can change your class and everything. So it's kind of like a Skyrim in a way where you can just play how you want to.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, that seems all right. That's
yeah.
why. Is that by Square Enix?
No, it's by Capcom actually.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It,
expect Capcom to bring out anything good.
it's actually a pretty decent RPG. I
Oh,
actually started playing it a while back, but then they announced their whole DLC bullshit where our new DLC won't work with your original base game. So I
oh.
g- so I got a free PlayStation Plus a while back, so I decided to start playing it, and it, it's it's really my only complaint is there's no fast travel, and
Uh, that
it,
sucks.
it does and it doesn't because in this game, what happens is if you go off the beaten path, you better be prepared for what's off the beaten path
Okay,
because
okay.
it's because off the beaten path might be a group of five werewolves that just rape your ass, and if you're not prepared for that, you're fucked. But overall, I mean, I would say it's a decent. It's it's kind of mixed between Western and a Japanese RPG. It's decent. I'd recommend if you can find it for like $20 or something, give it a shot.
Yeah, seems decent. Yeah, that sounds fun.
It's fun. It's unique, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
And I also got another news story for you. Basically, there's some research done that said playing violent video games does not only not make you violent, but makes you more morally mindful.
Hell yeah!
Because you know, I don't know, I forget the whole article, but it basically said people who play these violent video games are actually give a shit when making choices because
Yeah, because because video games give you a sense of agency. They give you a sense that you can control the outcome of the situation.
and not only that, but I mean, like let's take for example a game where you have a choice to kill a guy. In a game, okay, I killed the guy, and in a good game uh, like Fallout or something, if you kill a guy who's the main part of the story, you'll understand the impact.
Yeah, yeah. There's an impact, and even in other games, you'll be like, should I really kill this guy? Is it right to kill this guy?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I mean, something like happens in the last episode of Wolf. That happens almost every time in Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at the
So
end, something like that happens in Wolf Among Us, and I'm like, okay, I made a choice. I'm not going to tell you what choice I made, but at this moment, I think I made the right choice.
I mean, granted, it was just a study, and there's no really proven evidence, but it's a step in the right direction. from these stupid people who are like, oh yeah, well Doom causes these shootings.
Well, the thing is, of course, if you're a violent person, you're gonna love violent video games. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But it's not. It doesn't cause the violence.
No, exactly.
But yeah, it's been they've been trying that for years.
Yeah.
To kind of get
But it's nice to have some.
it's a scapegoat.
It's nice to have some reassurance that, oh well, maybe if you look at the facts, you know. What
Okay.
else?
Anything else for video games?
No, that's it.
I can move on to the final section. Who has stuffs they want to talk about?
I don't think I have anything else.
One of the tweet I'm on Twitter now, and one of the tweets that I made about Demon the Descent was retweeted by Satan, or favorited by Satan.
Cool.
That's good. I have famous people looking at my Twitter.
Is it from Bloomsburg? What was that guy's name?
Magus Astaroth was that guy's name. The Bloomsburg Church of Satanism.
Well, I told you, it was probably started by some edgy little 14-year-old.
My mom told me I had to go to church. I said, no, I'm a Satanist now.
Dude, that's like a person on Tumblr.
Yeah, exactly. I can guarantee you, I can just type in, I can go on Tumblr, type in Satanism, and find that exact post. My mom told me to go to church, so I said, no, I was a Satanist.
Mm-hmm. For that very reason. Not anything logical, just for that reason.
All right, well, everyone, thank you all for listening. Thank you guys for joining me. Everyone, have a good night and have a good rest of the week.